Greetings. I'm Iris Burdrow, Associate Professor of Management and Director of the MBA program in the Graduate School. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome you to the 45th annual commencement of the Bentley University McCallum Graduate School of Business. Most importantly, a very special welcome to our 2020 graduates. I know this was not the commencement ceremony you dreamed of. Who could have ever imagined all of this? Regardless, we were determined to celebrate and commend your impressive achievement in whatever way we could. I find graduate commencement ceremonies to be a bit more of a personal celebration, so perhaps this format is appropriate. Making the decision to go to graduate school or pursue a PhD is not an easy one. Many of you have had to sacrifice a lot during this time to accomplish this goal. You had to juggle a full-time job, family, and let's not forget the small matter of a once-in-a-century worldwide pandemic. You persevered through extraordinary circumstances, and I hope you are proud of that. It is evident that you have a thirst for knowledge. You are the doers. You go the extra mile, you reach far, and you accomplish much. Today is the culmination of all of your hard work. You did it, and you should be proud. We are also celebrating the achievements of graduates of our advanced degree in finance programs. These mighty ambitious undergraduates earned their bachelor's degree in business management while completing their master's degree work at the same time. I predict these inspired and ambitious 39 graduates will be standouts in their future endeavors. Today we celebrate our 6 PhD graduates too. They have impressed us with their focused research and well-developed dissertations. We are proud of all of their accomplishments and look forward to hearing about the great work that they will do at their future institutions. On behalf of Bentley University, I express our pride and delight in achieving this milestone. I urge you to go be a force for good in the world. You are all Bentley Falcons now and will remain so forever. It's time for you to fly high. I am honored to share this virtual stage with a few of your classmates who will reflect on their academic journeys. After they speak, we will celebrate each of you by reading the names of all of this year's graduates.
Ja, der she Hussein Aswas Montoya, Unishe, Twitter cheat initially, Nakai Thupa, Bashin, Kia Ani Dashe, Nakai Thupa, Dashanella. Hello everyone, my name is Hussein Aswas. I'm an enrolled member of the Navajo Nation and today a proud graduate of Bentley University's Master of Science in Financial Planning program. The way that I opened up my speech was just a brief introduction into who I am and the clans that I represent. Traditionally, we're taught to do this before we address the crowd, just to let the individuals know who we are and where we're coming from. It's also to find out if we have any family amongst us. And today, I like to believe that I do. You all, my Bentley family, so welcome. Now, before I get too far, I do want to say congratulations to all of my fellow graduates and also a big thank you to the individuals that made today's opportunity of speaking to you all possible. Now, I'm a firm believer that there are few endeavors in life that we accomplish purely by ourselves, and today is no exception to that. We're all here because individuals helped us along the way, so I only find it fitting that we graduates take this time to thank those that helped us over the last few years. Personally, I would like to thank Dr. Avery and the Discover Bentley team for presenting me with this opportunity, my parents for the constant encouragement, and my beautiful fiance who moved with me to Massachusetts and made it possible for me to pursue my degree in person. Now, as I began to put this speech together, I will admit that it did take me a little while to narrow down what I was going to say. I mean, after all, the news headlines surely are giving us plenty to talk about. From the political arena and the effects of the pandemic, we've all seen or felt these impacts in some way or another. And the sad thing about it is it's also creating more divisiveness and more division, further driving us away from actual solutions. But we'll leave that aside today, and instead we'll focus on our accomplishments and the resiliency that we've shown over the last couple of months. You know, these are times that people are labeling as uncertain, but for us, one thing does remain certain, and that's that we have each other, the Bentley community. Sure, we may not agree 100% on our issues, but still, we share the commonality of self-improvement and the welcoming of a good challenge. Now, I do think that there is one thing that we can agree on. Us graduates are definitely leaving with a certain degree of confidence. Confidence that Bentley has equipped us with the proper tools and the knowledge to be effective in the careers that we choose. But we're also leaving with a confidence that we're going to be backed by a network that's going to help us take those next levels of success on. So I encourage you to remember the networks that you've built here at Bentley. Utilize them as you progress professionally and socially. Personally, I have a network of some amazing individuals, which not only include my fellow students, but also faculty and staff. In fact, I should point out that the pamphlet didn't lie when they told me I was going to get a global perspective on business. I just didn't think so much of that was going to come from my fellow students. But the diversity and global representation and the professionalism that you all brought has enriched my experiences as a student and my life as an individual. In conclusion, what I want to say is that this moment that we are experiencing together will be a defining moment in the way that we utilize our relationships here at Bentley. Let it not be a negative asterisk in our lives, but instead, let it punctuate the positivity of who we will become and what we will accomplish, if not only for ourselves and our families, but for the benefit of the global business community. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your time.
Good morning to my fellow graduates, our loved ones, and the Bentley University faculty, administration, and staff. First and foremost, I hope you and all your loved ones are safe and healthy. Our commencement is not the celebration we wanted. I know the decision to have a virtual event is the safer choice, and that slowing the spread of COVID-19 is the right priority. Having a virtual graduation is a small thing in the big scheme of life, but that doesn't mean I'm not sad. We have worked and planned and dreamed of this day for months, and I've decided it's okay to mourn what we're missing. In fact, I think we must say goodbye to what we expected in order to appreciate what we have. Today I'm missing my mother and my sister, for whom travel would not be safe. I'm missing my father, whose loud cheers would have accompanied me across the stage if he could be here in more than spirit. I'm missing the time I would have spent with you, my friends. I imagine us donning our regalia in the athletic center, figuring out how to put on our hoods and talking about how the design could be more intuitive, instead of sitting alone at my dining room table, searching for a YouTube video to show me how it's supposed to look. We would be reminiscing about surviving HF 700 and laughing about how much we'll miss vague professorial answers like, "It depends. That could work," and, "That's interesting." If we were together, we would be high-fiving and hugging, laughing and crying. We might even be meeting each other in person for the first time after spending hours talking over Zoom. As we processed into the graduation tent together, we would feel our pulses quicken as the sound of the bagpipes started to play. And we'd wave to our loved ones in the audience as we departed the stage with our degrees in hand. I imagine within my cohort, we would also be reflecting on the life of Tom Tullis, one of our most beloved professors, who died of complications related to COVID-19 in April. I regret that I did not get to learn from Tom during my time at Bentley. However, my peers who did remember him as brilliant but humble, generous and inclusive. He had a boundless intellectual curiosity and a great sense of humor. His death leaves an enormous void for his family and our community. As a society, the toll of these last few months is high, but we've also gained some things. We've learned that the world won't come to a screeching halt if we don't do things the way they've always been done in the past. Personally, I've learned how to manage spotty internet connections, contactless payment, and practice writing papers in bed with a dog curled on each side. I've also learned some best practices for holding online events. Working with my fellow User Experience Graduate Association board members, we created 2 virtual events. At times we struggled with how to do things, but learning happens when we struggle. There are things we would change in hindsight, like remembering that people need breaks if they're going to be online for more than an hour. But we also discovered a few things that work better online, things that we might never have learned otherwise. And those learnings may benefit future students. Since classes have ended, I have noticed that I have more time. My husband and I have taken a couple of picnics, something we hadn't done since our dating years. I've also had time with my daughters, sometimes looking for new recipes to try and sometimes talking about more profound things like our role in affecting social change. I don't think any of us would have chosen the events of 2020, but when we have some distance, I hope we will think of this time as a milestone in our journey to be a more caring and equitable society. In conclusion, I'd like to thank Bentley's faculty and staff for their guidance and support throughout my degree program, but especially in this last semester when we were all trying to figure out how to move forward. To my classmates, I miss you, but I look forward to continuing my user experience journey with you in the world beyond Bentley. And finally, to all of my fellow graduates, congratulations on this accomplishment. Thank you.
Thank you, graduates, for your reflections and your inspirational words. Each of you and all of your fellow graduates today will bring much distinction to yourselves and your alma mater for years to come. Now it is time for the reading of the names. On the screen, there are instructions on how to listen for your name. Names will be read in alphabetical order by the last name. After all the names have been read, the McCallum Graduate School of Business 45th Commencement Ceremony will officially conclude. But don't forget that the Bentley community wants to celebrate you too. Please share any photos you take today using hashtag BentleyU2020. Once again, congratulations, class of 2020. You did it!